Hello everyone, and welcome to Vision Board. My name is Sage Breed. I'm so glad that you decided to invest in yourself and tune in. Y'all, this is the second week. You've been rocking with us. You guys know that we are walking through our 5 pillars. We got spiritual, mental, physical, social, and financial. Last week, man, we dove in deep and tackled spiritual. We discussed laying the foundation so we can actually start to build. This week, we're taking a look at the mental side. How can we prepare? What different things can we really lock our attention to make sure that we are going to get where we need to go? Y'all, here at Vision Board, we're here to teach you how to build a successful life. Man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like simply sitting down and saying, okay, what's my vision? Like, just for a moment, like, I want you to imagine it. What kind of life do I want to live? What is it going to take for that to happen? Right? So something that has really helped me is going in with the understanding of, oh, this is simple. It's simple. Step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not easy. That's something that has really brought a sense of comfort to me when simply knowing, like, oh, all I got to do is this. That's it. Okay. How do I do that? So y'all, we're going to walk through, because yesterday on Growth Track, we talked about active recovery, and that's resting with intentionality, being intentional on getting your rest. Today, man, you're in for a treat, in my opinion. Today, we're going to discuss sustainability. Okay? Sustainability. And that is meeting the needs of now without compromising or sacrificing the needs of later. So, to sustain something means not only am I able to provide the things that I need for right now, today, it's not going to impact my tomorrow nor the day after that. I'm going to be sustained. So how do we come about that? How do we go about that? How do we start to say, okay, the things I'm doing is really building? Because, man, yesterday when we discussed active recovery, we discussed 3 things. We talked about how we need hobbies. We need hobbies. It's an outlet. It's a way that we get to decompress, regulate our nervous system. We discussed the importance of community. We need a community. We need a circle, because not only do they give us the accountability, that's support. For the vision that you have, the dream that you have, the life that you want to live, you need support. There's no such thing as a self-made person. Like, that's not a thing, unfortunately and fortunately, because there is joy in doing things with people. That's why we have friends. That's why we hang out with people, because it's fun. Seriously, it's fun. So for this last one, we talked about hobbies, community, and prayer, the importance of building. And we even said, y'all, just because it's the last one, it's actually last because it's the most important. It's last because everything flows from the top down. We have to have our prayer, our Devo life, our type of way of saying, okay, I'm going to get connected with my source. My source, Sage Bree, is God, is Jesus Christ. I have to be connected with my source, because that's where everything flows out of. But if I'm not connected to my source, I'm not going to be able to be really plugged in. I'm not tapped in. I will not be able to be sustained. So as we're discussing the sustainability, the question that I have for you is the way that my life is structured, is that sustainable for the next 3 to 5 years? Take a moment. The way that my life is structured now, ask yourself, can I keep this up for the next 3 to 5 years? And if the answer is no, okay, Great. Now we know. What do we do? If the answer is yes, great. Let's take a look. Is there a way that we can optimize this? That we can make it function with greater efficiency? Because the answer is always yes. There is a way we can optimize things. So, y'all, there was a moment in my life where I was working 5 jobs at a time, at one time. I was in college, right? And that seems to be the classic trope. When you're in college, you just got to work 5 full-time jobs. You need to work 10 jobs, right? That's from In Living Color. My dad and I, we would always joke growing up. We'd watch In Living Color, and there was this one skit, and they were like, 10 jobs. You need 10 jobs. Anyway, we laugh about that when I come home. So I'd be like, man, I'm tired from work. He goes, which one? So when I was at SAGU, it's now called Nelson University. Man, I originally went there, make a very long story short, because I believe that God had told me, hey, I'm going to need you to pull out of this school you're at and go to this school. And I was like, bro, I got 2 weeks before I graduate. What are you talking about? No, like, I'm not doing that. And just time and time again, this is why we talk about getting tapped into the Lord. He confirmed it to me, bro. Like, I could not deny it. Like, I couldn't deny it. He gave me 3 different moments where it was like, nah, I'm actually telling you go to SAGU. So when I get to SAGU, I went there to run. Like, I was like, hey, I ran at the commerce where I was at. I'm going to run here. I have eligibility. God had different plans. I was not able to run. I was not eligible. Just getting there was literally an act of God. That's a story for another time. So while I'm there, I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do? I have not, thank the Lord, I have not worked while I was in college before, as far as like, let me go clock in, things like that. I worked at my previous school. I did tutoring. I worked in different offices, things like that. I worked in the business department. But it wasn't quite like, oh, let me go clock in at like the local store or whatever. Well, I'm praying. I got things coming up. And I wasn't able to run. And thankfully, the Lord had given me favor. And the coach at the time, Jason Covarrubias, shout out. That's a man of God. He really helped me. And just even the opportunities that he provided for me when I had nowhere else to go. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Coach C. He gave me a call one day. He said, hey, I know you came here to run. You're not able to run. I'm sorry about that. However, I've been watching you. I want to offer you an opportunity to come be an assistant grad coach with me. Help me coach this team. I have a vision. Let's go. I was like, what? Yeah. Right? I was like, let's do it, baby. So that was step 1. So things were going good, bro. And at this time, it wasn't like I was living on campus. I was not living on campus. I lived an hour away. Okay? And so I had to have that mindset of, oh, snap, what am I going to do? How am I going to practice at 5 a.m., bro? I live an hour away. And I have to be there early. So I start waking up at 3 a.m. to get ready, pray, head out. Hit the road at 4 o'clock. Really, I hit the road about like 3:45. Some days 3:30. And I'm driving, and I'm able to get to the school around 4:30, 4:45 to set up and sit there as the athletes come in and all these different things. And so conversations started to happen, and they're like, because people were late, because people are late. And conversations started going. We're like, y'all, you can't be late. You can't be late. And people would say, Sage, like, you don't get it, bro. Like, I'm in college. I'm like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, I'm in college. I'm also taking classes. So I'm a full-time student, waking up at 3, getting there at 4, practices at 5. Okay? And I'm telling them, I said, y'all, I get, like, it's hard. It's not easy. I also was a student athlete for 4 years. I had to learn the system. I had to figure out a routine that really helped me. So, upon being a college student, working as the grad assistant coach, next, what we have on the agenda, right? I ended up being a part of the worship team, the band. Our school had a band. So we had practices, we had events, there was opportunities to travel. As time went on, I get a phone call from the dean. Hey, we'd like you to consider being an RA, a resident assistant. I'm thinking like, geez Louise, this is a lot, right? This is a lot. But I felt an unction on my heart, like I have to do this. These things, I wasn't just picking them up because I was bored. There were things that I really felt convicted that I had to do this. And if I wasn't doing this, I was in the wrong, right? Do you have that kind of conviction about what you're doing? If I'm not doing this, I'm in the wrong. So upon talking to my parents, upon seeking guidance and wisdom from Coach C, it was like, that's a full plate there, buddy. Like, that's a full plate. Can you handle that? I was like, yes, sir, I believe I can. Because at that time, just before then, I had worked 3 jobs at a time. I had been a full-time student. I was interning at the courthouse and the state office, and I was working night shifts at IHOP. So it was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. So I told him, yes, sir, I believe I can. Okay, go for it. So I'm doing all these different things. Then I get a phone call. Man, we got an opportunity. You're doing such wonderful things. Please consider being a campus ambassador. Like, come lead tours, host these different events, come speak over here. Like, please consider it. And so I'm like, Jesus Christ, I need your help. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Y'all, so to put it in perspective, I'm still at school. I'm coaching. I'm on the worship team. I'm an RA. And I'm also working in the student office. Now, some of you may be thinking like, why did you do that to yourself? What were you thinking? And there was moments where I was thinking that too, to be honest with you. However, each opportunity that came, I felt a strong conviction. Like, yo, I have to do these things. So certain things led to another. And of course, I was learning how do I balance my work life, my social life, and my personal life. What do? I have all these different opportunities, and I learned a lot. I did, and I grew a lot. I experienced a lot. When it came down to it, I had to let things go. I had to optimize my life because things I started to notice, man, working 5 jobs, it's tiring. What? Who knew, right? Working these 5 jobs, I loved them. They filled my cup, and they also poured me out. So I had to say, okay, I'm still waking up at 3 o'clock. I still have school. That's what I'm here for. My grades, priority. I was not slacking. I was getting A's and B's. I didn't fail any classes while I was there. And that's not a beep beep to my own horn. That's saying like, okay, priorities. I'm here for school. Let me do school. And as things went along, I started dating. And it put the relationship in such strain, in such duress, that I was like, okay, what am I doing here? Not just in the relationship, but like, what is my life? Like, what is going on, bro? And I had to take a real look. Is this fair to the woman whom I was dating? Is this fair to myself? Is this the right thing to do in my own life right now for Sage Breed? It put a literal strain on my health. There was one night we were doing a hall devotional. I was leading for my guys, and I was just feeling sick. I was feeling nauseous. I was like, ooh, I don't feel so good. I told him, I said, hey y'all, tonight I'm not gonna be able to tear things down. Please, 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 you guys, you can keep my stuff. I'll pick it up from you tomorrow. I'm gonna go lay down. I go to my room. I am thrown up outside of my window. Like I'm just like, right? Next thing I know, I'm in the restroom coming out the other way, right? For a lack of not being grotesque. Y'all, I end up going to the emergency room. Like I was literally dying. They said, Sage, if you had waited just a little bit longer, this probably would have been a very bad situation. I'm like, Jesus. So as I'm going through these things, I'm having to learn, how do I structure my life? Y'all, because it was not sustainable. I was borrowing time from tomorrow. And when tomorrow came and I had to pay up, I had empty pockets. So I really had to get a grasp. What is important to me? Y'all, and so there were three things. There were three things that I learned. I'm gonna kick it off with some hardships. The three hardships that I went through, man, I learned that things that aren't sustainable, it puts a strain on my body. It puts a strain on my mind. I'm literally not able to think clearly because I don't have a clue what the heck is going on. Y'all, and when I tell you I was structured, I had a color-coded calendar. I had alarms on my phone. I had people help me with phone calls. God helped me build a system, and it was still a lot. Okay, and this was only for about a year and a half. It wasn't like I was doing this for years. It put a strain on me. It almost cost me my health. Then I started to notice, oh, this is putting a strain on my relationships. Like, I'm not able to hang out with my friends. I'm not able to be with my girlfriend. I'm not able to be with my guys in the hall that I'm supposed to be taking care of. What am I doing? It's not sustainable. I'm not able to do all these things and still give you guys the attention that you need, that I'm supposed to. This can't go on like that. It really showed me, okay, I'm not being consistent. There was a large thing of inconsistency that was just hitting my life because someone would say, hey, Sage, can you do this? Yeah, I can do that. Hey, Sage, you got that thing for me? Ah, nah, like I left it over there. I forgot it that. Oh, man, I thought that was tomorrow. I'm getting my dates mixed up. I'm getting jumbled up. And they're like, okay. Buddy, I think you got too much on your plate. Ah, I can handle it. I can handle it. I got it. Like trust. No, like I'm trusting you, and that trust is wearing out. I'm gonna need you to figure some things out. So these hardships, as difficult as they were, and they were difficult, they taught me some wonderful things. They taught me priorities in my life. They taught me how to prioritize. Man, is my relationship important? Okay. Then I'm going to make time, not just to talk, but to be there. My girlfriend at the time, she lived 3 hours away. So I would carve time out to go visit. I wouldn't say I did it like every week, every month, but it's like, show up. It taught me to prioritize the ones that I love. It taught me to prioritize myself. Because I'm like, yo, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Running 2K right now is actually not the greatest thing for me. Man, I'm hungry. Let me meal prep and pack it so I can eat it while I'm on the go. Wow, let me go ahead and let me knock out my homework so when I'm with my friends, I'm with my friends. It showed me how to prioritize. It taught me, second one, time management. It taught me the time management because, man, when you're waking up at 3 o'clock and you're not getting home until 8 p.m., there's not a lot of window because I'm in a different city. I'm not like, oh, snap, I forgot this. Let me go home real quick. Nope, not an option. So I have to think ahead because we all get the same 24 hours. We all get the same 1,440 minutes. We all have that same time. How do we choose and decide to manage it? Because it's just like money. Bro, if you got 20 bucks and you buy something that's $20.01, over budget. That's not sustainable. Because now, yeah, maybe one time they're like, hey, don't worry about it. You don't got a penny on you. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to. But keep doing that. Keep withdrawing more than just 1 cent. Keep borrowing from different relationships without putting it back in. Yo, so we had track meets. We had campus events. We had worship events. We had tests and exams. Like, those didn't stop. I still had the dates with my girl. I still had all these different things going on, and it didn't stop. And so perhaps you find yourself there and you're like, Sage, like, that's where I'm at, bro. Like, I got all this stuff. I'm not working 5 jobs, but like my life, bro, is pressing me. Well, one of the final things that this really taught me was the importance of a team. Because those same questions you're having, now my question to you is, who has your back? Who can you call and say, bro, I need help? Who can you call and say, I'm tired? Who can you call and say, I want to celebrate? Who is in your corner? Now, you may be thinking, Sage, I don't have anyone, bro. Like, I'm really all by myself. I'm not being dramatic. I'm really all by myself. Like, I don't know what to do. I hear you. And that's a real pain. That's a real tight lonely. And I'm going to encourage you to really open your eyes and look. You're not alone. I promise you, you're not alone. There's always at least one person. And I say always, and I'm not using this cliche. It's a fact. It's not just a cliche. Like, yeah, God is always with me, Sage. I know. No, it's not what I'm saying. God has put his grace and his love. He's always put at least one person with you. Now, you may not like the person. They may annoy you. But they're the type of person that they're always there no matter what. I had this kind of friend. When I was going through the worst time period in my life, not this particular story, but back when I gave my life to Christ, I was going through hell and high water. I was either burning or I was drowning. And there was just this one dude, always in my face, always talking about, what are we doing today? I'm like, I don't speak French, brother. Like, leave me alone. But then over time, I was like, no, I'm bugging. I'm tripping. Dude's one of my closest friends to this day. So the importance of a team is going to help you. So learn to prioritize. Learn to manage your time. And then focus on the people around you. Build a team, build a community, or get plugged into one. That way you can not just optimize your life, but now you're sustainable because you're not overeating, you're not overspending, you're not overdoing, you're doing just enough to get the needs for today done without having to sacrifice tomorrow. Y'all, it's real. It's not easy, but I promise you it is simple. So again, ask yourself this question. With the way that my life is structured, is this sustainable for the next 3 to 5 years? The way my life is structured, can I keep this up? Bro, for me, the answer was no. The answer was no. When I found myself in the hospital hooked up to an IV talking about, bro, if you fall asleep, you may go into a coma. I'm like, Jesus, okay, I don't think this is working for me. I'm looking at my friend. He's looking at me like, I'm like, I don't think this is working for me. So we had to change some things I loved, things that I really felt that conviction I was telling you about. I only did these things because I felt, but not everything that looks good is for you to grab. It's not. Just because people are calling your name, that does not mean they're cheering you on. Right? Even a piñata gets invited to birthday parties. So when we talk about sustainability, take a look at your life. In what areas are you unwilling to compromise in? That's a priority. When it comes to, okay, I need to get these things done, I'm not saying you need to color code your calendar and this, and that, but start to build your environment in a way that is conducive to your life. Man, if I know I move quick, show me now we have a calendar by the door. Okay, what am I doing today? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, got it. We got a whiteboard. What's on the agenda? Boom, boom, boom. Got it. Okay, what are we doing today? Okay, Shelby's going to be here. Okay, here's the keys. Here's my wallet. Here's this. Here's that. It's all in one spot. Now I got that over there. I'm painting a picture because you have the ability to adjust your environment to help you live a sustained life. Because if you are not actively recovering and you're not replenishing yourself, I promise you, and I don't speak this over you, but I'm bringing to your attention that you will burn out. It's inevitable. So make the decision. I'm going to think about the future. What is this going to cost me in a little bit? Right? That's why we got so many people. How you doing? Oh, I'm tired. How you doing? I'm making it. How you doing? It's another day. That's not you. Because you think about the future. You have a vision. Discipline is vision applied. And you, my friend, are a disciplined person. Y'all, so I hope this was helpful. I hope that hearing that story and just, wow, 5, blah, blah, blah. Man, take a look and think about your life. What am I doing that is just like that? Because how in the world is this going to be sustainable for the next 3 to 5 years? I believe in you. I believe in your vision. And I care about you so much to the point that I'm saying really stop and take an inventory. It's time to optimize. Okay? Y'all, join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow on Back to the Book. Oh my gosh, it's going to be, you already know what it's going to be. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Why do I say that? Because when you tune in and you say, okay, I'm really here to lock in, man, you get gems just left and right. It's not because I'm just a wonderful person. It's not because I can dissect the Bible so well. It's not because I just speak so beautifully. No. It's because you're saying, because I'm actively looking, I will actively find. So you may pick up something that I didn't even said, but it changed your life. You also join us tomorrow, Back to the Book. We're going to be taking a look over at Genesis chapter 13. We're going to see, okay, what are some ways that not only can I actively recover, that I can sustain, but how can I rest? Okay, get your rest, write your vision down, go out and be disciplined. Hey y'all, you're strong, you're smart, I love you. And until next time, peace.